Hello everyone, welcome to Melissa's Musings. I've got me and Booty here today. This is my partner in crime, one of my best friends, my little cat Boots, and he's amazing. So those of you who are watching on the replay, thank you for joining in. Alex, thanks for being here. As always, you are my biggest fan, and I'm so appreciative that you always tune in. I feel like you're like my groupie. I love it. Hi, Alex. I love you. So as you guys know, I am Melissa Steele, real estate agent extraordinaire here in San Diego. But what we're talking today is about really something happened yesterday to me. And it reminded me of the last time the universe did me a favor and kind of gave me the kick in the ass that I needed. So I have two stories today. And the first one starts with what's happened this week, where for about 2 months now, I've been really struggling with a client who was also a friend. And I say was because it was a very tumultuous relationship when we transitioned from business to business partners, because I've been friends with her for a very long time. We've been colleagues, referring clients to each other for a very long time. And it wasn't until recently where I got the opportunity to communicate and be in relationship with her on a personal level that I was like, wow, this is interesting. Because what happened was, as we transitioned from friend to kind of business relationship and I started helping her buy a house, I felt as though the fact that I have a soul and I have feelings was completely disregarded, and it became a very ego-driven, how can you not understand this is where I'm at? How can you not find me a house even though I don't know what I want? That kind of conversation, it became really difficult. And long story short, the intention of this video is not to complain, because for 2 months I did a really good job of, in a perspective now looking back on it, I did a lot of people pleasing, unfortunately. Because if I had really reflected on what was best for myself, it probably would have been to cut ties about 6 weeks ago, when I started feeling insignificant and inferior based on her feedback to me. And to the point where I actually was like, I've never had a client be dissatisfied. I'm so disappointed that you're not having an exceptional experience. How can I make it better? And she was like, you can't. This is the most awful experience I could have ever imagined. And I was like, this is crazy, because here I am, and I've never had that feedback from any other client, and here I am receiving it from what's supposed to be a friend. So it was very difficult to navigate that. And what happened yesterday was she did me the favor. She called me and she said, you know what, I no longer feel like working together is serving either of us, and I'm going to part ways. And it's something I've been debating doing for about 6 weeks now. And for some reason, dragging my feet on it. And guess what? The universe gave me the kick in the ass that I needed. It cut the ties for me, and I get to move on. And it reminded me of the last time I was fired, which is the only time I've ever been fired, which was at my last position, which, for those of you that don't know, my last position, I was the manager of company culture at a design company downtown. That was very robust, very fun, and the concept of my job being manager of company culture was my dream job. The conceptual nature of what that job was supposed to be was my dream. I fought tooth and nail to get that job when we first moved to San Diego. But what didn't resonate with me was that the management wanted the manager of company culture to be a really nice marketing tool for incoming employees, and didn't actually give a shit about the employees. So it put me in a really difficult position, and for about 6 months I felt extremely conflicted within my role. I was put between the employees who, my position was to utilize me and give me feedback as to what was and wasn't working within the company, and I was powerless to do anything with that feedback. Every time I would approach management, they'd be like, oh, that sucks. Tell the employee they should suck it. And I'd be like, this is not resonating with me. And so over that 6-month period, while I worked myself into sickness, while I lived in constant stress, while I debated whether or not I should quit my job and whether or not that would serve me, while I created an entire support system around me to be able to make my exit, I didn't pull the trigger and I didn't quit. And guess what? At 5 p.m. on a Friday, about 2 weeks before I had been planning on quitting, I got fired. And it was the best gift the universe ever delivered to me, because I don't know if I would have ever quit that job. The concept of that job was driving me into being like, maybe it will change. Maybe my job will become what it's supposed to after the 18 months I've been working here. Because isn't it funny that our mind will play that trick on us? This is safe. You should just stay here. Like, this is, you're comfortable with this. You're familiar with this. This job should be your dream job. What's wrong with it? And the universe, after so much conflict and 6 months of inner conflict, feeling like, am I in the right place? Am I not? I was given the gift of knowing very clearly that I was in the wrong place and I was fired. And it was beautiful. After the sting settled in, I felt shitty about it, maybe Saturday, Sunday. But when Monday rolled around and I didn't feel like I was going to crap my pants because I had to be at work by 8:30 on Monday morning and I was super unfulfilled within that position and feeling so much anxiety around it, when it was like Monday at 10 a.m. and I wasn't sitting in the bathroom at work crying, I was like, wow, thanks, universe. What a fantastic gift I was given that I was able to receive this past weekend being fired. And so the message that I'm bringing to you guys today is obviously hindsight's 2020. Yesterday, when I received the call from my, client / friend, I cried about it after. I was really disappointed. I was upset that for so long I've been friends with someone and it's not their true self. I've been friends with their business self. And that was what was most disappointing for me. That I'm losing a really good friend because I wasn't familiar with the full package, with how they show up in life instead of just in a business setting. And the universe gave me a fantastic gift yesterday in cutting ties with it. After feeling crappy about it, letting my tears out that I felt hurt for losing a friend and for that experience and for being treated that way through the transaction and for not... Honestly, I was disappointed in myself too. Recognizing that I had seen this in myself 6 weeks ago and known what the right answer was to cut ties then before it got uglier. And I pursued thinking, you know what? No, she deserves an awesome experience and I get to give that to her. And I was sacrificing myself in that instance. And I was doing myself the disservice. And therefore, whether or not I even realized it, I probably wasn't doing the best job that I could have because the relationship was so tumultuous. So thank you to the universe for giving me the gift that I needed, the slight kick in the ass yesterday to let that go and to open up the space for probably 5 more amazing and eager, excited clients, because I just can't even wait to help them achieve their real estate needs. I mean, and I wish her the best too. I hope she finds the greatest house. I think it's going to be a challenge because I don't know if she knows what she wants, but I wish her the best, and I hope that the agent who she ends up working with can find her that dream home. I wish her the best experience, but in letting her go, I get to embrace the next probably 3, 4, 5 clients that are going to fill that space, because it's going to free up a lot of space in terms of energy, and I'm just so excited for it. So it reminded me of when I got fired and how much of a sting that was, but in hindsight, how valuable that kick in the ass was from the universe, and how sometimes God gives you gifts. And whether or not they're the gifts that we necessarily want to receive or we had planned for ourselves, that's often the thing. Like, I would not have figured that Friday, 2 days before I had 2 houses closing, that I was going to get fired. I had no idea that was in store for me. But it turns out it was the best plan. And even though I thought I was going to crap my pants as they were letting me go on Friday at 5 p.m. within that space, it turned out to be one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And it opened the doors for John and I creating our entire real estate business. So look at that for hindsight. It's amazing. So I encourage you guys, if you are struggling with news that's been delivered to you recently, or maybe you're just really, feeling unsettled about something, listen to your gut on that, because your gut probably knows the right answer. Your head's probably in denial, as mine was this entire month, in regards to this one particular client. And when you don't listen to your gut, and when you listen to your brain, sometimes you get yourself into a pickle and you realize that you could have saved yourself a lot of time, energy, wasted tears, love, all that stuff if you had just listened to your gut in the first place. And I learned that lesson as well when I got fired. I was like, wow, I wonder if I, thank you so much for this gift, because in hindsight, I feel like I should have just quit, But it ended up working out perfectly because I was able to collect unemployment. It was an amazing scenario that was truly gifted to me. It was amazing. So I love you guys. If you're struggling with anything, please reach out to me. Would love to support you. It's a fabulous Thursday. A little chilly for San Diego. I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling very cold and cuddly. Like, I just want to curl up under a blanket. So if you want to come snuggle with me, that's where I'm at. I am over here working / under a blanket. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.